every one of the places in the Bible where it says the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Or he would say the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And he would continue to tell Israel, even in Acts chapter 3, when Peter gets up and preaches, he says, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. That was to give some foundation about what God we were talking about. And because Abraham was the father of all of the religions, and Abraham was the father of Judaism, the father of the Jews, as well as the father of the Christians, as well as the father of the Muslims. Abraham was the father. Then the foundation was based upon the covenant that God made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He made this covenant with the three of these men. But it's something that struck me clearly. It says the God of Abraham. It says the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob. And so the question came to my mind, when did he become their God? For Abraham was a heathen for all that we knew. Abraham did not know Yahweh. He did not know his name. How did Abraham know about this man? There was a defining moment for Abraham. You can read at your leisure, but it's actually in Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 through 3. When the Lord comes to Abraham and says, leave your family and your kindred. Leave your father's household and go to a place that I will show you. And I will bless you, and I will make you a blessing. And I will make up and turn your seed as the sands of the sea. He comes to Abraham after grief and stagnation had come to his life. Because in chapter 11, Abraham's father Terah was grieving over the death of his son Haran, who was Lot's father. Terah was supposed to take them to the promised land, but because of Haran's death, they got stuck. So Abraham was living in stagnation. He was stuck in a place that he was not supposed to be in. He was in grief, and all of a sudden, God shows up. God shows up in the middle of his grief. Y'all not hearing me? There's going to come a moment when you're going to meet God. God shows up in the middle of his grief in stagnation, and he says, get out of here. It's time to move. Let me tell you something, saints of God. I want you to get this clear in your spirit. Grief, stagnation, and frustration are all just motivators for ridiculous faith. I'm going to say it again. Grief, stagnation, frustration are all just motivators to make you do something that you would never do ordinarily. Because if you felt comfortable in a situation, you won't move. If you felt good in a situation, you won't move. I have learned now that when I start feeling frustrated, God, what you trying to tell me? What am I supposed to do right now? Where am I supposed to go? What's the next thing? Because there's a reason why you're allowing this spirit to come to me. It is not to bring me down. It is to motivate me to move. I'm trying to do something. It's time to do something different. Oh, God. Am I helping anybody? I'm frustrated with this job. I'm frustrated. I'm tired of this. There's a reason why you're frustrated. You're supposed to be at a different level. You're not supposed to be the one taking the orders all the time. Maybe you're supposed to be the manager. Maybe you need to go retool yourself so you can do something different. You weren't designed to be working on that line. There's a reason why you're frustrated. You're grieving over something you're supposed to let go. Death is a part of life. Death in all levels, in all areas. Death is a part of life. Everything dies, right? The plants die, right? The cat dies. Dog dies. That's sad. I'm coming up on a 1-year anniversary of the death of my dog. I still feel it. Y'all think I'm kidding. That was traumatic. That was traumatic. Doug, but he had died. Life, I watched his life come and go. It's a part of life. But if you get stuck right there, you know, that's why I tell folk when people die, and I need to help us, because this is a black thing. I'm going to say it to you all for real, for real. You know, when people die, we try to keep them alive. Yeah, we try. We go. We celebrate their death. We wear T-shirts. Rest in peace, and you can't rest in peace. You know, you go to the grave every other day, every other week, and you know. Listen. I drive past my father's grave every day, literally every day. If I'm in town, because he's buried right on Cedar Hill off of Ritchie Highway, I drive right past him. I wave at him. Hey, what's up, dude? Keep on going. Every day. I don't go visit the grave. Number one, he's not there. That's just a mark for somebody to remember that he lived and he died. But we keep people alive forever, and we live in their memory. And when we live in their memory, we can't move on into the destiny that God has for us. Oh, I know I'm messing with the touchy spot. I know I'm in your zone right now. But you got to let stuff go. That's what Abraham, that was when God met Abraham, he was telling Abraham, let it go. You need to get up from here. You need to be around something different. It is the same thing that Jesus did with the man that was laying beside the pool. When he comes to this man in John chapter 5, he said, do you want to be made whole? The man had been laying there for how long? 38 years. And here's the part of the text I didn't deal with the last time. He was around impotent folk. Impotent folk. Oh, y'all need to help me in here. See, sometimes God got to get you around different people. Because you're around the same folk. They can't help you. They can't help you. They just as bad off as you are. You know, you're going in, baby, let me tell you what's going on. You need 5 minutes of their time. They need 10 minutes of yours. Their situation is this. That's why, and the Lord hit me. That's why the guy never moved. He never moved anywhere because everybody around him was as bad off as he was. And if everybody around him was as bad off as he was, he couldn't get any help from them. They too busy trying to help themselves. You know how it is. Look, I need to borrow $100. No, I need to borrow $2. You know, I need to borrow $2. You don't have anybody around you. Thank you, Holy Ghost. You don't have anybody around you that you can grow from. When you thank you, Lord, you need to get this, and this might be as far as I get. When you're the biggest fish in your pond, you need to get into an ocean. You need to get up out of there because there ain't nobody in there that can help you. All that's going to happen is you're going to get drained and you don't have any room to grow. Are you hearing what I'm trying to tell you? Let me share this with you. I get a chance to study a few things, and there's a concept. I was reading this thing, watching this video called Hidden Colors about the history of black people. And one of the things that I found out, and a lady made this important scientific analogy. She says a lot of times what they say about black folk and about us is that we're genetically inferior, which is not true. But what happens is if you put something in an environment where it cannot grow the way it needs to grow, then all of a sudden you can turn around and say there's something wrong with it because it didn't grow. It's the same thing. If you put an animal inside of a cage where he can't grow, and you let him stay there long enough, he will be deformed. There's nothing wrong with the animal. It's the environment that he was in. Because he was in an environment that did not allow him to stretch himself. And now he comes out all crippled, and you say something wrong with him. Ain't nothing wrong with him. He just was in the wrong environment. Help me, Holy Ghost. I'm trying to tell you, ain't nothing wrong with you. You're just around the wrong people. You're not getting the right stuff. All you talking about is Pookie and what she did, what he did, what they talking about. You need to get out of that stuff and get around somebody that's doing something. Hang around somebody that's got something going on. A whole different conversation. Visit a different restaurant, watch different movies, read different books, do something different. Get up from there. Move, Abraham. It's time for you to meet God.